a play written by Guru Apparao. So we could not finish it, and I will try to finish the chapter or the unit today. In the last class, if you remember, I was discussing the heading, the treatment of the issue of bride price, childhood, and the March question. So these were few issues, very much prevalent in the society at the time when Guru Java Appara lived. And when you talk about bride price, and I discussed this point in the last class, but I want to brush up again that bride price means it was a practice that was very common in that era. In bride price, you are uh, an old man used to purchase a girl and was getting married to her. So this was the issue. That, when an old man, very, maybe in his 40s, 50s, marries to a young girl, uh, and what will happen that, after few years, maybe after 10 years, after 15 years, that old man will die. Then what will happen? The girl will be still young. So the other system was, the other, evil of that society was that a widow cannot remarry. So what happened? Those girls which were, widowed in their early age were not able to marry throughout their life. So it was creating another issue in the society that there were illegal relationships, there were, illegal pregnancies, child abortion. So all these things were there. The thinkers and the philosophers and the writers who were against this, and Guru Jada Phara was among one, among them. So the other one was, that childhood, that is, childhood marriage. It means that bride price, the kanya sulkam, that is, the girls were sold and they were married to older men. And other issue, very prevalent in that era was the issue of Naach girl. Naach girl means the dancing girl. The dancing girls were the girls who were performing dance, uh, for the royal people, and they were having royal patronage. So, in the beginning, it was good that they were getting all the facilities and they were having royal patronage. But what happened over a period of time when they were getting old or getting aged? They were not married. So what happened? They were turned into the prostitutes. So that was another very evil practice in that society was. So through the play Kanya Shulkam, Guru Jada Apparao raised these issues and he tried to eradicate such types of evil from the society. And so he was a writer, he was an author. So through his writings, through his work, he tried to depict these evils, and so that people will come to know that such things should not be practiced in the society. So I will read a few dialogues for you that uh, when as I told you that the concept of remarriage was not there. In one of the dialogues, that we see there was a man, Grisham, and there was a girl, Madhuravani, in the play. And, you know, that you will see one dialogue that what Grisham says, that when there was a, discussion about the boarding house and that, women could not be widowed. Could not be widowed means, as I told you that there were illegal relationships, uh, due to, that widowhood, getting not remarried. So here, Grisham says that nonsense aside, let me please her with a tale. Listen, the truth is, when the boarding house woman was a mere toddler, it was decided to marry her off to a ripe old man. See, I was told you, that when, that's how the girls were getting married when they were, quite young and they were getting married to old men. So here he says that the truth is when the boarding house woman was mere toddler, toddler, a child, how he is not able to walk properly, the toddler. That it means that when the girls were, when the girls were children, when just they were started walking, what happened? It was decided to marry her off to a ripe old man. So then, even in their childhood, it was decided that they will get married to a ripe old man. Got it? So it means that they were young, they were kids, and they are getting married to wild or ripe old man. Then what happens when they will come to age of 10, 15, or maybe 20? That time the that old man, their husband will pass away. So their whole life they had to be widow, and they were derived of even simple pleasures of life. So a ripe old man, and even as he was tying the knot, or a moment later, that old man had croaked in the pandal itself. So, and what he said that even at the time of tying the knot, it means that at the time of getting married, or we can say that on the day of marriage, on the day of wedding, if that man, their husband, dies, and there was a possibility because he was an old man, then what will happen? Then the dilemma was whether she was married or not. So there was a dilemma that the husband, the man, uh, died on the same day, on the day of wedding, and then there was a dilemma that whether the girl is married or not. So some said the knot was tied, others said it was not. So some said that the knot was tied. It means that the marriage ceremony was done, and the other will say that no, it is not done. Then the bride's father filed a suit against the heirs of the groom. And what will happen? The bride father will file a suit. Then what will happen? The Purohit took a bribe from them, and the Purohit who will be, monitoring these things, and who will be the one who will pass the judgment. What will he do? He will take bride from the, bride from the, groom side, and he will take the bride from the people who were, who are from the family of groom. Then what happened? The Purohit took a bribe from them and gave the evidence that the sacred thread was not tied. So the case was lost. But after that, no one married her again. So then what will happen? The Purohit will say, okay, the sacred thread was not tied. It means that marriage was not completed. But what will happen? When the marriage was not completed, but what will happen? That even that girl will not be married. No one will marry her again. So even in her childhood, she will become like widow, and throughout her life, she will be deprived from the basic uh, pleasures of life, from the simple pleasures of life. And throughout her life, she had to be, stay like widow. So that was, horrible, condition of that society. So these things, Appala, that depicted in his society. So again, uh, we see that there is one more, and in one more dialogue, Madhuravani, the lady character in the play, says that I have learned something new today. This queen of dancing girls, who is hailed as a precious jewel in God's creation, is meant only for the company of girls like Grisam Garu, but not fit even to be introduced to gentlemen like Saujanya Rao Pantulu. The moment Grisam Garu stepped into Madhuravani's house, he decided he lost the eligibility to step into your sister's house. However, great scholars like you when they decide, when they need some help from the town to create Madhuvani and fall at her feet. Is that deputy collector also a dog then? So she is talking about, the situation that how once a girl, uh, become widow and then how the other people are after her. No one will ready to marry her, but they will try to seduce her. They will try to have relationship with her. So that's why the evil, the problem occurs that girls will not once they are widowed, they will not get married, and uh, uh, but there will be illegal relationships that that will lead to illegal pregnancies and abortion, all these things, uh, in the society. So now we will come to another topic, that is colonialism and modernism. So this is another issue or the theme of the play Kanya Sulkam. So apart from the social evils, which it primarily deals with the play, deals with. The play deals with the effect of British colonialism on Telugu society. So we can remember the time, that was, introduction of English in our country, and India was the colony of Britishers. So it was, the effect of British colonization on our society, and particularly when Gurujada Apparao writes about, writes in Telugu, he was a Telugu writer, and he talks about the, Telugu society, the influence of British colonialism on Telugu society. And this effect you will see, particularly in the area of education and culture. So, when we discussed in our unit 1 and 2 about the, that education of Indians in their, mother tongue, in their, classical languages, or English. So these things were going on already. We have discussed that how some writers or some thinkers or philosophers like Venela Kunti Sugro and Rajaram Mohan Rai, how they were in favor of English language, that it should be introduced in India. And there were other people who were in favor of Sanskrit and Arabic language. And again, you will see the Macaulay's minute we discussed in earlier unit, that how these people were in favor of English language, that it should be introduced in India, and because uh, it was considered that uh, to know the world, and if we really want to know something, then we should go for the English language. And so there were people from our country who supported English, and there were few people who were against English. So, but in reality, English language was considered as the harbinger of modernity. And it is reality that how, in that era, people were looking for English language. Because they were learning English, they were trying to read English, and they it was in their mind, and to some extent, it was true that after reading English, they will be able to get a job, and they will be considered as educated. And other, reason was that that people, most of the people were converted to Christianity, and some of the people, if they were not converted, but they were influenced by Christianity. So again, the reason behind conversion or the influence was that there were job opportunities, there were the opportunities for better education, and other thing was that people were uh, fed up from the restrictions of Hinduism. So these were the things which were going on in that era. So and in the in this play Kadnya Shulkam, though it was written in Telugu language, but sometimes you will see that uh, the character few of the characters who were talking in English, they knew English, and so that how much they knew, that is the different thing. But you know they were at least better in English than other characters, and they were having a better position in the society, and they were considered as educated. So in few scenes uh, where we see that Grisham was the character when he was talking about English education to his disciple, that Venkatesam. Uh, there are that classic instance both of the importance of English as well as a commentary on it. So So, dear students, I was talking about the colonialism and modernity, which has been depicted in Kanyakulkam. And we see that even in the play, uh, that the English language was considered as the harbinger of modernity. And the characters who are able to, are the characters who are able to talk in English. I mean, their English may not be a good English, but they were, uh, having a better repute in the society, and they were considered, they were respected, uh, better than other people in the society. So uh, this thing was there in the society, and Guru Dada Apparao depicted this in the play as well. And through it, he wanted to show that English language that uh, should be introduced in India, and the condition of the society should be improved. And the other point we can see is the English Telugu interface. That how these two languages have been employed in the play Kanya Shulkam, and the same thing, that how a few of the characters were influenced by English language. So Gurujada felt that the need to rid the Telugu society of its evil social practices is to be done through popular drama. So he knew and that what were the evil have been practiced in the society. So he thought before that he wrote letter as well, but it was not responded. So he thought that literature is the best way to eradicate the evils of the society. He will depict the evils of the society in the literature. Let's say in the popular drama. That Kanya Sultan was a popular drama. They were very popular. So it was his plan that he will depict the evils of the society so that most, maximum people will watch and read it, and they will be aware of what is going on in the society. So this means that he should use colloquial Telugu so that the play achieves the desired purpose. And if he used colloquial Telugu in this, drama, and his intention was that maximum people should be, you know, uh, benefited. A maximum people should know what is there, and so that he can achieve his purpose. So therefore, there was a necessity to change the highly artificial literary dialect, a rigid system of alternative versification and literary types to colloquial Telugu. And we see that Guru Dada himself mentions the contribution to the promotion of spoken Telugu by Englishmen in the following words from his preface to the second edition of Kanya Sultan. He says in the preface of Kanya Sultan, he says that strange as it may sound, Telugu prose owes its origin and development not to the patronage of kings or to the influence of foreign literature, but to the exertions of a curious Englishman who stimulated compilation of local history in the vernacular during the early years of last century. So he talks about a person, an Englishman, who in the last, decades of 19th century, 18th century, that compiled uh, few of Telugu uh, tales, we can say, and that uh, that promoted Telugu language as well among non-Telugu speakers. So the play, when you talk about the play Kanya Shulkam, it is replete with the use of English words, quotations, and misquotations from English texts, references to English customs, etc. So as I told you that few of the characters in English, are able to talk in few of the characters in few of the characters in the play are able to talk in English and uh, so uh, that's why that there are many words, quotations, sentences in English in this text. Here, too, though the admiration for English is too conspicuous for anyone to miss it, there is no uncritical adulation. So here you will find that there is a woman, Venkamma, and who is uh, uh, telling a man that would you talk in English with my boy or with my son? So she wanted to listen his son speak in English. It means that you can see the admiration for English, or you can see that how people uh, were attracted to our English in that era. So that example is given in the text in the play that there's a character in Kalma who is telling a man that when he talks to my boy, my let's say my son in English, that she wanted to listen her son, to talk in English. So she says, "Will you please converse once with our boy in English, Babu? I wish to listen to that. Isn't that I wish to listen to that my son is talking English." So Giriham Shivaramma and my dear Venkatesam. So here the boy the child is the boy person is Venkatesam, and so here you will see that how they talk in English. So Giriham says Shivaramma. Now he is talking English, and let's see what. My dear Venkatesam, twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. Then Venkatesan says, there is a white man in the tent. Now, again, Wilson says, their boy stood on the burning deck, where all but he had fled. Again, Venkatesan says, upon the same base and on the same side of it, the sides of a terrarium are equal to one another. So, again, Wilson says, of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that mango tree. Sing Venkatesa, my very good boy. So you see, there's no coherence. Just they talk, they speak some lines from the from children lying, somewhere from any other text. So there is no proper conversation. So whatever they have, learned few sentences or few lines, they are speaking there. So, but that is enough to impress the people around them, and the people because they are unaware of English. They think that these people know English, so they are better than them. And see the farcical effect that dialogue like this provides a good. commentary on the provision of English. So you can see that, such kind of dialogue show that English was having a good position. So the other point in the play is that, the play as performing. So, uh, uh, here, we wonder what effect the dialogue quoted above would have produced on an audience who had no knowledge of English. So just now I read a dialogue, between Venkatesam and Gleason. So just think about the audience who are unaware of English and what have been effects of the dialogue on the audience who don't know English. Would they have been in awe and admiration of it like Venkamma? So will they have, there must have been admiration from them that, oh, this boy, this man is able to talk in English. Though there is no coherence, there is no proper dialogue, there is no proper conversation. So whatever they have learned from any rhyme, from any poem, from anywhere, so they are, just articulating that. There is no proper conversation. But the people who don't know English, for them, it is, a kind of proper conversation with English. And there will be admiration for the speaker. So the play centers around the fact that Karataka Sasulu has to avoid the marriage of his niece with the old man. Now, we see that basically what is there in the play, that there was a man, uh, his name was Karataka Sasulu, and he doesn't want his daughter or his niece to be married to an old man. So as I told you that it was a custom in that period that how the girls, when the girls were even toddlers, how their marriage was fixed to the older men. So he says here that he doesn't want to marry his cousin to an older man. So he is trying to avoid that. He is trying to avoid that. And for that, what does he do? For this, he takes the help of Mahesham. So there is another character, another, boy, whose name is Mahesham, and who is the disciple of, Karataka Sasulu. So, so he takes help from Mahesam, and he says that who was disguising himself as a girl who would be offered in marriage to the old man at a lesser rate. So he takes help from Mahesam and says that if you help me to avert the marriage of my cousin to the older man, then I will marry my cousin with you. So he takes his help. And then what happens? This boy, Mahesam, on the day of marriage, he is disguised as girl, as a bride for the old man. And few of the characters know about it, but most of the characters don't know that he is Mahesam, who is in disguise of bride. So you will find in the play that there is a, humor, satire, uh, and all these things are there. So the humor and satire, Gurujada Apparao, he tries to convince, to show and convince the audience or the people of his time that these are the evils in our society which should be eradicated. So, in this context, it will be pertinent to remember the conversation between Karataka Sastulu and Mahesham when Karataka Sastulu promises that he would give his daughter in marriage to his disciple if they succeed in this plan by swearing with a book in his hand. As I told you that he told him that he will marry his cousin to Mahesan. If their plan is succeed and if he helps him in not getting married to his daughter to the old man. So when and he has taken he has a book in his hand and he swears by that book that I swear that I will get my daughter married to you. So when Mahesham says that uh, take an English book in your hand and swear, okay, it will have it will have more importance. So you can see the importance of English, among the people, that how they saw English as, harbinger of modernity, or, that a kind of, with respect. So the the character, Manhattan, he says that take English book in your hand, then swear. It will add more, authenticity of the swear. So swearing, he says. Uh, he wants to know whether he can ask Newton and get an English book because he needs a stronger hold, as I told you. The play proceeds merely uh, on this knowledge being kept a secret from most of the characters. This is a secret that the bridegroom is a man, Mahesan, not the girl. So there is also the use of technique of disguise as in the entry of Madhurvani into house of Saujanya Rao Pantulu as a male stranger. So the play also implies the familiar aside that directly talk to the audience to either give them information that only they are to know or commentary on other characters. So you will find asides as well in the play. The two asides, the writer, the author tries to give information to the audience that what is going on. So now we will come to the conclusion of the play of the unit. So in conclusion, we see that Vijayabad Kanyasulkam was written with a specific social purpose of reforming the Telugu society of the ills of bride price, widowhood, child widowhood, and the ill treatment of the North girl. So this play basically deals with the three, issues prevalent in that society. One was that bride price, where the girl should not be bought, the girl should not be purchased. The other one was child widowhood, that the girls were, purchased and they were, married when they were child and they were married to the older man. And what happened? After 3 years, the man died and they became widow. And then what happened? Throughout their life, they have to be widowed. So the play deals with these issues too. So the third issue is that not girls. So not girls, as I told you that they were the dancing girls. They in their prime time or in their youth, they were having patronage. Uh, but once they are aged, they were rejected from there, and no one was ready to marry them. So what happened? They used to turn to prostitutes. So these were the three issues uh, prevalent in the society. One is bride price, the other one was child widowhood, and the third one was not girl. So our author, Gurujaga Appara, tries to depict these evils in the society. So the play was a great success in his time, and has remained a classic in Telugu drama and literature. So it is considered as the classic in Telugu drama and literature. So the play is considered a pioneer in Telugu drama for its use of colloquial Telugu. And as I told you that the intention of author was to uh, reach to the common people. So he used colloquial Telugu in the play. So thus it not only addressed the question of social reform, but also literary reform. So it is not only about the social reform, but literary reform was also in the play. The play is also one of the first to use English to emphasize its importance as also to have a good humored dig at it. So, uh, as I told you that there is satire, there is a humor in the play, and through the humor and satire, he's trying to show the evils of the society to the people, to the audience, so that they should be aware of that and this, this kind of thing should not be, followed in future. So this was unit 5, and now we will discuss unit 6, that is Buddha or Karl Marx, which is written by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So, so before going to the text, we will discuss few points about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is a multifaceted scholar who has risen from the depths of poverty and discrimination to admirable heights. So when we talk about, or when we read about Dr. B. Ambedkar, so he comes from humble family, from a poor family, but through his hard work and through his reading, he could reach the admirable heights. He is an icon to the downtrodden. His contribution to the Indian Constitution has made it more sensitive and thoughtful to the cause of the marginalized communities of India. So you know that our Constitution is written by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and we still follow that Constitution. So, through the Constitution, he uh, gave an opportunity to the downtrodden people so that they can come into the field of education, economy, and all these things, and so that the upliftment could be possible. He is the guiding spirit behind Dalit movement and literature. So Ambedkar was the guiding spirit behind the Dalit movement and literature. So he has interpreted religion, society, and hegemony in Indian society from a radical perspective, thus deconstructing the notions of hierarchy and caste system. So he was the one who challenged the caste system in India. And you know that our country is based on the caste system. Like, on the top, there'll be Brahmin, then there'll be, Kshatriya, then Vaishya, then Shudra. The Shudra were, SC, ST, or Dalit. He, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar himself from, a Dalit family, and he had gone through the, you know, uh, he had gone through the, marginalization, the discrimination, which was very much common in the in Indian society. So he has experienced, he has observed all these things, and he worked hard, and He wrote Constitution, and through the Constitution, he tried to improve the condition of, downtrodden people in our country. He is so hard for the upliftment of his uh, fellow people from the clutches of untouchability and suffering. So, as I told you that he worked hard, uh, and he worked hard for the upliftment of the uh, of his fellow people. It means that of his community. It means that of Dalits, of literature, Dalits, or we can say ST. So we see now that how they have reservation in jobs and in education. And now we see that they are in better uh, condition now. Dalits are in better condition, and this should be possible because of B.R. Ambedkar. So his his achievements could easily become a textbook to his achievements uh, could easily become a textbook to learn by rote for anyone who wants to live a life of fulfillment and commitment. So the proof, the text that is Buddha or Karl Marx, which we are going to discuss, is a mirror to his thorough reading of religion and philosophy that have tried their best to straighten up the world. So, this text, the text that is Buddha or Karl Marx, which is written by B.R. Ambedkar, while going through the text, we will find that how he had gone through, how he had a thorough understanding of a thorough reading of religion and philosophy, and you know, how he has incorporated his knowledge in this text, and through his knowledge, how he tried to uplift the people, uh, uplift his fellow people, uplift his community uh, from from the worst situation. So, what is the relevance of the comparison? So, Ambedkar presents his argument with sufficient self-consciousness. He expects some of the questions and responses that this comparison may lead to. So, in this text, you will find that he himself questions and he himself responses. So, whatever the questions he feels, maybe in the mind of the people, he asks and he responds himself. So that's why here you see that there's a comparison between Buddha and Karl Marx. He tried to compare Buddha and Karl Marx in this text. So this reveals to the readers that he has put his argument to self-criticism before proposing it. It also reveals how Ambedkar, how Ambedkar as a thinker and writer is. So this reveals that how thorough he has been, mm, in religion and philosophy, and he has, inculcated his knowledge into the text. He confesses that this kind of a comparison may sound odd and may be considered a joke. He also gives reason for this which prove his thoughtfulness. Buddha and Karl Marx are divided by 2,381 years, and he himself raises questions, and he is the one who answers that. You know? So whatever the question can be in the mind of reader, you'll find there, and he answered that. So after going through the text, you will find that's how learned personality, you know, uh, he was, and how learned that B.R. Ambedkar was. So you will find that there's thousand years of gap between Buddha and Karl Marx, but still you will see the relevance of them. Though they were dissimilar uh, in terms of they were dissimilar in terms of time, in terms of place, but there was some similarity in their thinking. Is it really odd or a joke to compare or contrast these two personalities and the philosophies that they have uh, proposed? So there are so many questions comes into the mind of readers or the students when before going through the text. But so these are the questions like is it really odd or joke to compare or contrast these two personalities and the philosophy that they have proposed? Do the number of years really matter when the issues that they are concerned with are similar? So, as I told you that there's a thousand years of gap, or more than 2,000 years of gap between these two, personalities like Buddha and Karl Marx. But when their thinking are same, but when their concern is same, so does the gap in the years matter? Of course, when contexts are different, the approaches will also be different. So, but the core remains the same. Is Buddhism really not talking about economics and politics? So there are so many questions, and uh, so when you go through the text, you will find that being different, on several grounds, there is similarity in their thinking, in their concerns. So this is how we can, you know, connect them. This is how these two personalities can be compared. So for today, we will start here, and tomorrow we will finish this unit as well. And most probably, we will start another unit that is unit number 7. So for today, now we will stop now, and I'm thankful and happy that you have attended the class, and I hope that it was, works. So uh, I'm leaving now. So bye, uh, goodbye, thank you, and see you tomorrow.